Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a fun video that I really enjoyed let's say the prereq for it. I went on my Instagram and I put a poll as to my whole makeup routine. So I put so-and-so product and so-and-so product, and I had you pick according to which one you wanted me to use in my makeup routine. So I did this for every single step: primer, foundation, powder, and everything and anything in my makeup routine. And I chose products that I like and use in my routine, and I used new products. I even put some options as to not using one, and I use products that I don't really like. So it was all up to your mercy for how this makeup is going to turn out. If you want to see what kind of look you, my followers, picked, then keep on watching. So I screenshotted the poll from my Instagram, and I have now just calculated whatever results have gone from then. Starting off with primer, I had everybody on my Instagram choose between the Urban Decay All Nighter and the Cover FX Blurring Primer against the number 7 Beautifully Matte Primer and the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. With every choice, I'll just throw up the screenshot somewhere on the screen. The drugstore, actually, the number 7 and the e.l.f. won with 56%, so that's what we're going to be using today. I'm going to first start off with the e.l.f. primer, and I'm just going to, of course, grab it. I'm just going to smooth that on more of my pore area. Now that I have the e.l.f. on, I'm going to take the number 7 Beautifully Matte Primer. I'm going to kind of focus this more like on the forehead, on the nose, and like my cheek area. This does a good job of blurring too, but it also keeps everything nice and matte, which I love. So hopefully this is a good combo. I've never used these two together, so hopefully nothing weird happens. Okay, moving on to foundation. For foundation, I had my Instagram followers choose my Holy Grail Becca Ultimate Coverage Foundation and my LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation Full Coverage Combo against the Urban Decay One and Done Tinted Moisturizer and the Pure Tinted Moisturizer for light coverage. Luckily for me, full coverage won by 69%. So yay, thank you everybody for not giving me light coverage foundation. So like always, I'm just going to take a pump of the Becca and a pump of the LA Girl. Alright, so my foundation is on now, and I feel like this is the prettiest my foundation has looked. I think it's that primer combo. I feel like my skin looks so airbrushed and so smooth. Although I do love my foundation combo a lot. I feel like I get that anyway, but I feel like the primers really gave it that extra kick. Moving on to concealer, I had my Instagram followers pick either from a brightening concealer, which is my MAC Studio Fix 24-hour concealer in NC35, or just a concealer that matched my skin tone and wasn't very brightening, which is the LA Girl Pro Conceal in Warm Honey. With 76%, the MAC Studio Fix won, so I'm going to be applying that. Okay, now my concealer is on. Before everything starts to crease, we're going to move on to powder. For powder, I had my Instagram followers choose between the $39 Laura Mercier powder or the $5.99 Wet n Wild Photofocus Translucent powder. With 55%, the Wet n Wild powder won. I think that really says something because everybody wanted to see the more affordable option, which is this right here. I actually do like this powder a lot. So I'm just going to, of course, dip in, set my under eye first, and then I'm going to set the rest of my face with this powder as well. Yeah, see, that's such a pretty powder. I might even go as far and say as that the Wet n Wild might be a dupe for the Laura Mercier. I am very confident in that statement. If anybody has tried either or, tell me what you think of that. I'm just going to take the bottom of my sponge and set the rest of my face with this powder as well. Look at this side of my face, which is set, and not this one. I feel like this gives such a nice blurring effect. Again, that could just be the primer combo or the foundation combo, both, or just a mixture of all of them. This might turn into my everyday like makeup. So normally at this point in my routine, I usually bake, but I didn't make that an option. So I'm just gonna go ahead and not do it for the sake of the video. After I lay down my bake, which is ideally, like I said, what I would do next, I would move on to eyeshadow. So I had my Instagram followers choose between the Morphe X Jeffree Star palette or the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 Morphe palette. And with 55%, the Jaclyn Hill won. So again, we're going to be dipping into this beautiful palette. Now, what do I want to do with this look today? So I know I have already used this palette in a couple of occasions. If you've seen it on my Instagram, I used like the purples. In my review of the palette, I used all the warm tones. I kind of just want to go into like the neutral tones of the palette because we haven't played with those yet. And they are also pressed pigment, so I want to see how they perform. I already have a base on from the concealer, so I'm just going to take my JH30 brush. I'm going to dip into Certified, and I'm going to put that all over the lid to the brow bone as my base shade. These palettes really need a mirror because I am tired of having to grab my mirror. Okay, now we have set down Certified as a base. With the same brush, I'm going to dip into Love Handles, which is very fitting for this quarantine right now because all I have been doing is eating, which has been great for my weight situation, but whatever. And throw that into my crease. Okay, so I have blended Love Handles into my crease here. So as you can see, it's just a subtle like wash of color. On the JH31 brush, I'm going to grab Homebody, which is also very fitting for this quarantine situation. I'm going to blend that into Love Handles to make it a little bit more deeper. For the outer edge, I'm going to take the JH33 brush and dip into G Money and deepen up the outer edge. I love the way this is going. This is just very warm tone, very neutral. I'm just going to cut my crease really fast and then I'm going to put on the shimmer shade. Okay, I have cut my crease, of course, using the MAC Studio Fix concealer. Are they perfect? No. Are they ever? No. I'm going to take this shade GRWM, which is, of course, Get Ready With Me. I have a Get Ready With Me. It's my first video. I'll link it above. I'm going to put this all over where I cut my crease. I'm just going to take it with my finger. Oh, that is so pretty. I can't remember if this is a pressed glitter or not, but the way it looks on the lid, I'm going to say it is. So, of course, I'm going to clean off my finger, dip back in, and put on the other eye. I feel like this is almost like a sheer base with, like, really finely milled, like, copper and brown shimmer and glitter. This is really pretty. It gives the eye like a nice like wet effect. I stan this shade. Wow, I love this. I don't even have to like go back and blend in anything because I feel like the glitter or sparkle just really kind of blends it together. I am going to take the JH33 with no product on it. This is the brush that I used for G Money on the outer edge. I'm just kind of scratch kind of the outer edge to not lose that dimension. Again, with no product on it. That looks so pretty. Since I'm not baking under my eye, I can actually just move on to smoking out my lower lash line. So for smoking out my lower lash line, I'm going to take my JH37 brush into G Money and just smoke out my lash line a little bit. I don't feel like I want a super smoky lash line. I'm actually going to keep it pretty tight to my lash line. Now that we're pretty much done with the eyeshadow, we're going to move on to brows. So for brows, I gave my Instagram followers the choice of either using an eyebrow pencil or nothing. So thankfully, 77% of people voted for the eyebrow pencil. For the 23% that voted nothing, you're shady and I hate you. I'm just going to quickly take my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 6 and just do my brows very quickly. I feel like that's as good as the brows are going to get. They're in serious need of a wax, but of course, with everything going on, we can't do that. So we're just going to live with these for a minute. Moving on to brow gel, I had my Instagram followers choose between clear brow gel and a tinted brow gel with 58% clear one. So we're just going to put that on. Moving on, I had my Instagram followers choose between liquid liner or a pencil liner. with 76% liquid liner 1. So I'm going to quickly apply that. I'm actually going to do this off camera and I'll be right back. And we have liner. So I didn't do a wing or anything yet. I think I'm going to wait until I put my lashes on and then I'll do like a baby wing. Next up, I had my Instagram followers either choose using a mascara primer or not, with 58% mascara primer 1. So I'm going to just put a light coat of this. Last time I think I put too much on. Before I put the mascara primer on, I am going to curl my lashes. It's a big necessity for me. So again, I'm just going to put a light layer on. Okay, now I have the mascara primer on. Now for mascara, I had my followers choose either from the Benefit Roll Lash, which is curling and separating, or the NARS Climax Mascara, which is more volumizing and lengthening, with 64% the NARS Climax Mascara 1. So I'm going to put on a coat of that on top of the mascara primer before it dries. Okay, now my mascara is done. We're going to move on to lashes. For lashes, I had my followers choose between a more light wispy pair or a really full dramatic pair. They actually ended up being in a tie, which I don't know how to feel about that. I have done dramatic lashes in my videos a lot and in my Instagram posts, so I kind of am tempted to go in with the more natural pair, especially since I am really liking my eyeshadow look today. I don't really want it to impose on it too much, so I am going to go in with the more natural style. I'm actually going to apply these off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, now we have lashes on. So these are very natural, very pretty. You can still see the eyeshadow through it. I did little baby wings on the side just to make it look a little bit more elongated. You would think that smaller lashes would be easier to put on, but actually this inner corner was giving me some trouble. I think it's because the band is so thin that, well, they are more natural lashes, so they are going to be a lot thinner. But the thing I like about more dramatic, fuller lashes is the band is usually a little bit thicker and a lot easier to apply, at least in my opinion. Now that we have our lashes on, I'm going to move on to the waterline. For the waterline, I gave the option of a white liner or a black liner. Now, with 61%, we're going to go with white. Now, I just actually bought this. This is from LA Girl. This is the Perfect Precision eyeliner in the shade Arctic White. So I'm very excited to use this. It is like a sharpened pencil. It's not an automatic pencil. So I'm just going to throw this into the waterline. I'm going to take my damp sponge, pull my under eye, so you're not tugging at your under eye, and just place it. Okay, now I have white liner. So for this being like a traditional like sharpened pencil, this kind of reminds me of the MAC pencils. It is very creamy in formula. It does go on very smooth. So now I'm just going to do the other eye. That looks so pretty and it went on so easy. So I love this liner. I think this was $2.99. So for $2.99, this is really good. I'm not hating it at all. I'm going to put this top row with the rest of the liners that I use. Now that we have liner on in my waterline and mascara on my bottom lashes, let's move on to bronzer, blush, and highlighter. So for this part, I gave my Instagram followers the option of choosing individual bronzer, blush, and highlighter, or choosing the Benefit Cheek Leader palette. And actually, the Cheek Leader palette won with 70%. So for bronzer, blush, and highlighter, we're going to use everything in this kit. So I'm going to take the JH06 brush and I'm going to dip into Hoola Caramel and Hoola. And I'm just going to bronze my face. For blush, I'm just going to take my Wet n Wild angled brush and I'm going to dip into Gold Rush and Coralista. Now, these are very just natural blush shades, which, of course, if you are familiar with my channel at this point, you know that I prefer. So I'm just going to put that on. Yeah, I feel like those two blushes don't do anything for my skin tone, which, you know, is fine. Moving on to highlighter, we do have the Cookie highlighter in this kit. So we're just going to dip into that and highlight the face. So last time I think I used like a too concentrated highlight brush. So I'm using the JH09, which as you can see is a more fluffier highlighting brush. And I think with this brush, it looks so much prettier than it did before. I still feel like it's a little too silver for my skin tone, but it works. It looks really pretty. I'm going to take this itty bitty JH38 brush, dip into the cookie highlighter, and put that right on the bridge of my nose, right here. So I didn't really like contour my nose, but adding this highlight right here is really going to make it look like I did. With the same brush, I'm going to just highlight my inner corner. That is so pretty. This is a very pretty highlighter, but I think this is kind of made for more like light to light medium skin tones, not necessarily like medium to dark. I don't know. I feel like I love this kit for the price value and the fact that it has Hula Caramel in it. But I don't think they did a very good job with putting Coralista Gold Rush or this cookie highlighter in here. I think these blushes don't give a lot of color for my skin tone. And I feel like the highlighter is a little too silver. Like it's almost too cool toned. But like I said, I do like it for the value and that it has Hula Caramel in it. Alright guys, now we just need lips and setting spray and we're done. For lips, I put a poll to whether you use lip liner or to not use lip liner. With 79% lip liner won, so I'm just going to quickly line my lips. I'm going to be using the Sleek Locked Up lip liner in No Words, as well as the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil in Naked. So I'm going to first start off with using the Sleek pencil on the outer edges. Okay, so I put the Sleek pencil on the outer edges. Now I'm just going to take the Urban Decay pencil and put that in the inside. Now we have a nice smooth face for whatever lipstick was chosen. So for lipstick, I gave 4 different options. I gave a matte red, a cream red, a matte nude, or a cream nude, with 38 votes making it the winner. Cream red won. I'm going to use the NARS lipstick in Inappropriate Red. So as you can see, this is a nice rich red color. So I'm going to apply that now. Okay, so this is very red, as you can see, but this is what everybody chose. I'm actually kind of living for the red lip with a neutral eye and small lashes. Now, this is so pretty. So as you may have figured out through my channel, I don't really do a lot of bold colors. I do like more of like a nude or a gloss, but this red is really pretty and it's a nice change for once. So for the next poll, I put using a gloss or not. With 64%, everybody said yes to the gloss. So I'm just going to put on the ColourPop So Juicy lip gloss in the shade Princess Cut, which is of course just a clear lip gloss. And I'm just going to dab that on top of the lipstick. Oh yes, that is very pretty. It made it very glossy. Looks a little bit more summery now, which I don't mind at all. For the last step, I had my Instagram followers choose between the Urban Decay All Nighter Ultra Matte Setting Spray or the LA Girl Shimmer Spray for more of a glowy look. With 54%, the LA Girl Shimmer Spray won. Yeah, isn't that so pretty? This one. So I'm just going to set my face with this. This is very fragrant. Then, of course, I'm going to grab my fan. So that did leave my skin looking very glowy. Like, as you can see, like, here on my forehead, it looks very... Ooh, yeah. See, like, when I turn my head. Super glowy, super pretty, but it's not, like, super, like, glittery looking. Oh yeah, this is so pretty. I love the way this turned out. Okay guys, and that's the end of the video. So as you can see, this is the outcome of having my Instagram followers choose my makeup for me. This was a very fun video and I really love the concept of this. I'm kind of thinking of like doing another one of these, but more towards like skincare. Like kind of like a nighttime skincare routine, but you choose my skincare products. I think that would be really fun. Or something of that concept. Let me know in the comments, what would you think of that? Would that be like a nice continuation to this video? If you aren't already following me on Instagram, I'll have it linked below and I'll have it somewhere on the screen. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, everything and anything, please guys. I would really appreciate that from everybody. Thank you so much for watching guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.